Good evening at 6 p.m. The best variety of gospel use of knowledge is power broadcast with Dr. Marseille Wells-Strozier. Information on how to reach Chia will follow today's broadcast. And now, here's your host.
Chia Adult Skills Center YouTube channel. And you're able to find the video on this wonderful conversation. So in part one, we learned that if you have a prior conviction, share this briefly with your employer. Also explain more in details how you can benefit this company. So what Dennis was explaining the last time, if you have a prior conviction, go ahead and share that with the employer, but you don't have to go into details about everything that you had done. But once you explain what you have done or what your felony conviction was, always come back and sell yourself to the employer about how you can benefit them with all of your gifts and talents that's given to you in order to benefit the company. This was the greatest thing that you shared. If you've been incarcerated for a period of time, you've had responsibilities while you were there. Those things can be listed on your resume as work experience.
Correct.
That one right there, I even had people call me on that one because that was a beauty. Never really thought about it. So even though you may have been incarcerated for 20 years and you haven't had a W-2 type job, but you have been doing certain types of skills or certain types of responsibilities you've had while you were incarcerated, you can list those on your resume, opposed to a chronological resume that says specific jobs you held with an organization.
That is correct. Yeah, okay. That is correct.
This last one, I think this goes for anyone. Honestly, it does. Take any job you can get in order to get your foot in the door.
Yes.
They may not be paying you $15 an hour. They may not be paying you $20 an hour. I don't know what minimum wage is. What's minimum wage now?
$9.25.
That is correct.
They may pay you $9.25. If they have a job for $9.25, take it.
Right.
And then show your supervisor or the boss of the company how well you're able to do the job. Get there on time. Be productive. You may get a raise.
Right.
You may get something that's going to benefit you by just getting your foot in the door.
Exactly.
So, did I go wrong somewhere?
Yeah, no, you're right on. You're right on the money. Thank you very much. That was great.
So welcome.
By the way, right now, I would have to say that was a good recap right there. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Right.
The biggest thing to add there is, anything's better than zero.
That's true.
Right? So $2 is better than zero.
That's
so
true.
if you're at zero, $9.25 is a whole lot of money.
That's true.
At that point, right?
At 40
so you can,
hours, yeah.
and you can argue about, well, that's not enough money. Well, yeah, it is. It's better than zero at this point. Now, take that job, is my advice always, and stay there for a minimum of 6 months. Okay? I don't care if they tell you, like I always tell gentlemen and ladies, I don't care if they tell you to stand in the corner for $9.25 an hour for 6 months. Get that 6 months on your resume, okay? Because in the end, when we look at a resume, it doesn't tell me dollars, it tells me time.
True.
Right? So 6 months on a resume looks very good to other employers. A year, awesome. 2 years, incredible, right? You get 2 years in one spot, staying in one spot, no matter what the wage is, no matter what the job is, that sustainability looks very good at a job when you're ready to move on,
That
all
is
right?
true.
So if you bounce a lot and your resume looks like a speed bump because it's got multiple ones all over the place, that's not going to breed very well, right? And the way I always like to say it is that you may be working at McDonald's as a fryer for 2 years, and it looks on that resume as a fryer, versus 5 different factory jobs that you've been working at. Well, looking at the resume, the other employer that you're going for, who do you think they're going to really steer towards? Okay, now you may have some production experience, but you've been at 5 jobs, where this person over here, he's sustained for 2 years. I'm going to kind of weigh the two, and I might think, well, one, he's disciplined, he stayed, he didn't quit and he didn't get fired.
That's true.
Right? That says a whole lot about that employee right there, that maybe I might want to take him in because I can train him to be a good production worker and have him stay, right? So again, time on the water is what we're looking for. 6 months minimal before you try to make a move to another job. And always, like they say, don't go to another job. You know, stay employed while you're looking for other work. Don't quit and then try and look for other work. Okay, there are advantages to that, obviously.
Now, I know that individuals who have applied for jobs, especially online, and they'll ask you to put in your dates of employment. And I've noticed from conversations, if there is a gap somewhere, it will ask you what happened during this time period. Some applications won't even allow you to complete, or how can I say it? Some applications won't allow you to, some employers won't allow you to complete an application online if there are significant gaps in between. So you can complete your application. So honestly, that was brilliant about utilizing your skills that you know that you used in prison, or that I can't talk today for some reason. You're making me nervous today. Honestly, you know what, Al? I've been looking at some of the videos that's been recorded from these sessions, and I'll be like, I said that? That doesn't make sense. So callers, please forgive me, and listeners, if I'm not speaking correctly, please forgive me. I'm working on it. The doctor's degree means that I did the work, you know, but, you know.
You do a good job.
Thank you so much. All right, Dennis, let me ask you a question. What are the 3 most important things to do during an interview?
Okay. And I've narrowed this down through just years of doing stuff. The three things that I think are important, okay, besides, you know, obviously having a resume, a nice resume, and dressing well, okay. You can never overdress on a resume, or I mean on an interview, so you can always dress down. But the 3 things that I think are the most important are using appropriate body language.
Yes.
Okay, it's one thing if you look good and everything goes in. If you're slouching in a chair and you're leaning forward and there's various other things I'm going to hit on in a minute, that kind of hurts you a little bit, okay? The second one is seek more information. Ask questions. So many times you go on interviews, they're asking, you know, they'll even ask you, do you have any questions? And a lot of times people, no, I'm all set. See ya. Goodbye. Right? Have some questions ready and ask. Right? Ask about the company. Ask what your day of work will be. What is a typical day at work here? Okay. What's the next step in the process? When can I expect a call from you? Okay. This sort of stuff engages them, and they want to know that you're, you know, interested in what they're talking about, let alone the work. Okay. Ask some of the things about the how many employees work here. This sort of stuff. There's not really a dumb question in there. Just you want to explore a little bit, okay? One of the things I would not ask in the beginning, and definitely not on the first interview, is how much the job is. All right? Never ask that, okay? Because what happens is as soon as you walk in and say, well, you know, yeah, I want this job, and how much money does it work? And right? You're already done. You're already in trouble, right? Wait till they tell you. If they're interested, they will tell you the wage. Again, you're at 0. So it doesn't matter what they're going to tell you. You know they're going to tell you at least minimum wage. They may tell you more. Wait till you get to that process, and it may be the second interview before they tell you that, all right? So do not ask them how much that job pays until the second or third interview. Most times they will tell you that, all right?
I'm learning that employers now are expecting you to do homework on their organizations. They want to know how much you know about their company. I've run into that several times.
Absolutely.
At our Adult Learning Center, when we was at a different location, we used to have corporations come in and do mock interviews. And that was something that I learned. They want you to have some prior knowledge of the organization. And they would turn around and ask you, you know, what do you know about our company? So if you're looking for a job, this goes for anyone. Again, we may be talking about people who were previously incarcerated, but these are still good tools to know, period, in order for you to get a job. So if you're ever looking for a job, do some research, do some homework on the organization, because the more information you can share with them about a corporation, the more they're going to be in tune to listen to you because you've taken an initiative to go further than someone else has.
That is correct. That's great advice, too, because, yeah, you definitely want to know where the company is. Are they worldwide? What do they do? What do they do?
Yes,
all right?
what do they do?
What is their business? All right? So many people go in, they don't even know what the company is they're applying for, right? Another thing I would always look for is who is the CEO of the company? Who is the owner of the company? You can find that out. You can Google that. I mean, we're on our phones and computers all the time. You can get that. Go to Michigan Works. You can get this information, right? Find out a little bit about the company and talk about that when you're in a thing. Hey, I heard you're expanding. I heard the company's expanding. I'm interested in working here because you guys are going right? That's very impressive if you can find that out, even at the entry-level jobs, okay? Very impactful when you're talking on an interview like that, right? So, again, the three things I like are appropriate body language, seek more information, and then the third one is demonstrate you're up for the challenge. Tell them you're excited to work here. Yes, I'm up for the challenge. Yes, I'm willing to learn. Teach me what I have to know. Yes, I maybe don't have this certificate or this degree or this thing in here, but I'm willing to learn. Is there classes available? Is there something do you have outside information I can read on this, okay? Demonstrate that you're willing to learn and grow in the company, right? And body language is some of the more important things, right? Sitting up straight, having your hands in your lap.
How about that? Okay, there you go. You're not supposed to have them folded.
Definitely.
Have them in your lap.
In your lap, palms open on the table, okay? Do not cross your arms, okay? Do not, put your hands up to your nose and your ear and your eyes and stuff like that when you're talking. Be very, sit up straight and just talk naturally when you're doing it. You can move your hands, no problem, but don't get them all flapping around crazy if you're that type of person that uses their hands to talk, which is what I do a lot. I have to kind of curtail that.
Right.
Nod when you make a positive point. Shake your hand. Make sure you have a firm handshake right there. Eye contact, but you don't want to get all crazy googly. You don't want to be all like staring at me to where I feel uncomfortable. But then again, you don't want to sit down and talk to the table where I'm like, I don't know if you're talking to me or the table because you're 90% of the time you're looking at the table. Learn to look up, okay? Smile. All right? Get out there, all right? If you don't have good teeth, get them fixed. Go out there, get them fixed. Smile. Smile, smile, smile. Get your smile out there, all right? If you don't know how to smile, then tell your face it needs to learn how to smile, right? And get going with that, right?
That's true.
Make sure that you don't, cross your arms and cross your legs, like we said earlier, okay? As men, don't cross your legs when you're at an interview. That's more of a power stance. You want to make sure your feet are flat on the floor, especially if it's a woman that you're interviewing. And always, one of the first things I always say is when you go into the room, wait for them to tell you where to sit, all right? Sometimes there's more than one chair in there, and they're going to ask you to see if you're going to walk in and just grab a chair and sit down, right? Well, they didn't ask you to sit down yet, right? Walk in and say, where would you like me to sit?
Okay.
Right? A lot of times they're doing that. And one of my biggest things is when it comes to body language, this necessarily isn't body language, but it is the minute you get out of your car in that parking lot, if you are smoking a cigarette and walk in and you toss that cigarette down on the road, understand that there's cameras all over there. Most places, they're filming you the minute you get out of the car. All right, you're sitting there and bantering with people, smoking at the side of the car, walking up, playing, whatever you're doing outside. As you walk in, guys and women have flicked cigarettes and then walked in for a job interview and tried to play the face on the inside, and they played the camera right back and said, "Well, look, you threw a cigarette in our parking lot. There's an ashtray right there, right? Well, you think we're going to hire this guy, right? So be on your A game." Soon as you get out of your car to go to that interview. A game, right? Turn your phone off when you go on the interview. When you walk in, if you got to use it to fill out the application for the information, that's great. Shut the phone off. Myself, don't even put it on mute. Better yet, leave it in the car. Because here's why. You'll be at an interview, and today's phone ring, I always say this, is the vibrate. So you'll be talking, yes, I would like this interview, and, I'd be good at zzz, and then I'll be zzz, and you can hear that tone across the room these days.
Yes.
All right? Our ears are so attuned to it, right? I've had it so where I've been at interviews and been the interviewee where the interviewer's phone goes off. All right? Now, what does that say to me as part of the company? And if you're an interviewer out there, I hope you're not having your cell phone on in the room, right? Because if you got it, because if I'm in there being a job applicant and your phone goes off, okay, that tells me, I don't care how busy you are, it tells me that I'm not important.
That is true.
Right? And as an interviewer, you want to, as working for a company, look for that. Look for that, how that interviewer is actually holding themselves up. That says a lot for the company right there where you may want to work.
That is true.
Right?
Cheryl said something from Cheryl Woodyard from Flagstar Bank back in June when she talked about job readiness training. And again, she is a senior branch manager and also a vice president at Flagstar Bank. And she said if you go into a job interview and you smoke, don't have a cigarette before the interview. Because just that smell or that stench of the cigarette turns her off, period.
Absolutely.
So you can be ready for your interview, but some people are kind of, they have particulars. And smell that cigarette, it's like a no-no.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, on the other hand, too much cologne or too much perfume is the opposite, too. Yeah. So you want to kind of get a happy medium there and make sure that you've got that kind of in check. And it's all the little things, right? You'll do well when you get in there if you hold your body language right, dress well, have a good resume. You'll do well with that, right? But in the rest of it, you'll work on, all right? And if it's a no, it's a no. Yeah. No problem. Go to the next one, right? Go to the next one. Learn from what you did, how you can make it better. That job is not the end all. Pick yourself up, go to the next one, get the next interview, and keep going. Because, like I always say, you will get a yes. You can't get all no's. Impossible to get all no's. You will get a yes.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
So those are the three. Use good body language, seek more information, find out all you can about the company, ask questions when you're at the interview. For sure, have 3 or 4 good ones, and demonstrate that you're up for the challenge. And always ask, always ask before you leave, what are the next steps? And what do I got to do to, contact you for the next steps? In other words, don't walk out without knowing what the next steps are.
Yeah. One thing you didn't cover, but I want to ask this from a male candidate who is going to be interviewing. What should they wear? Because nowadays, sometimes you can't tell the supervisor from the employee. Some organizations don't require you to wear when you go for an interview, they always just tell you, put on your best. A man will wear a suit. But sometimes you can go for an interview and you're too overdressed. So what would be something that would be standard for a man to wear to any type of interview?
Okay, my first opinion is I don't think you can ever be overdressed. That's just my personal opinion because you can never... You can always dress down, right? And you can never be overdressed for the occasion. I mean, if you're wearing a tuxedo, that might be a little overdressed, obviously.
Right, exactly.
But a nice button-up shirt with a collar, long sleeve with a tie, okay? No suit coat with a nice pair of slacks and some nice shoes. Beautiful. In any situation you can go, okay? You want to put a suit coat on over that? Wonderful, okay? I've had multiple people stand out. You will stand out amongst the crowd. You put a suit coat on. You can always take it off when you get in. If you feel you want to take that off or the vibe's not right, you can always carry your suit coat. But at the very least, tie, button-down shirt, long sleeve with nice slacks and the shoes. You will not go wrong on that in anywhere you go. It does, even if the culture is that way, the way they dress at work may be less than that, go in at least that way for the interview because not only will it make you feel good, you're on your A game going in, all right? That's just me personally.
Yeah, okay. All righty. Listeners, if you're interested in this conversation, please join us at 810-239-5733. Another thing I want to share is our partnership with Reconnection is our prisoner reentry adult education program that is going on. We are accepting enrollment in that program. Please give us a call at 810-553-2140 if you're interested in that. That is a male prisoner reentry adult education program. It's 2 parts to the program. It is the job training aspect, the reconnections, and it's coming to Chia Adult Skills Center for the academic portion. In addition to that, we also have a North Flint adult education program for adults who live in 48504, 5 and 6 zip code areas. If you're interested in learning how to obtain your GED, increase your basic reading and math scores, even if you already have a high school diploma, please give us a call as well at 810-553-2140.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for the collaboration of that. And I mean, our goal, our goal collaboratively is to take gentlemen that are coming out of the system, our returning citizens back into Flint here in Genesee County, to empower them and encourage them and give them all the means they can, and let them know that we'll break the barriers. Yeah, it'll take a little time. Yeah, it's going to take a little work. Yeah, you're going to have to learn some things, but we'll get you going if you're willing, if you're ready, okay, and you're done running around and getting everything, and this is your time and you're ready to go forward. And it's not going to be easy, but that overcoming will come over time. And there's a lot of great programs, including yours and many other, that come together to empower men out there. So any of you that are out there that are thinking it's a dead end, or you don't know where to go, or the next steps, you got contacts here. You can contact the radio station, contact us. Let us know what we can do to help you, because your voice means a lot. Your voice is going to make a difference, right? You have a voice, right? And so we want to empower you to say that, you can change where you've been. Yesterday is yesterday. Today and going forward is wide open for us. It's just a matter of willingly learn and do the things you want to do. And there's just been great stories we've had in our situations with students and participants. And I know, Al, I know you have a story over there that you want to share. I know of someone that has made a difference and pulled themselves up and done some great things. So I'd like to hear about it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all anyway for letting me share this. I was went to in 1992. Okay. I got a number. Okay. 485-068. That's a number for life. Okay.
Wow.
And I went to prison in 1992.
Okay.
I did 5 years in the Florida State Penitentiary. And I wouldn't like to share what I went there for, but but I went. And it wasn't too bad, because the thing that a lot of guys don't understand when you go into prison, some go in with war stories. I take it off. I took it off as a back to where God wanted me to shh and listen.
Quiet
okay.
down and listen. Yep.
Okay.
Still
I ended up. I already had different skills. Careers, chef. I was a chef before I went in, and they made me the chef there after they found out my resume and all of that. The things, because you have to go through what you call classification.
Okay.
And they gotta learn, and they learn everything about you. Okay.
Okay.
From the time you're born, what state, what city. Who's your mother? What's your mother's maiden name? Where she's from? Your father's father, grandmother. They know everything about you. Okay, it kind of scared me at first, but I understand. You hear a lot of stories about the prison life. You make the prison life what you wanted to make it be.
That is true.
And I came out when I come out in 97.
Okay.
I've been out for like 21 years. Okay. And when I come out, I ended up working for the Holiday Inn in Florida. Okay. I kept that job for about 8 years as the dining room chef. I made pretty good money. Okay. I graduated from there to the Wyndham Hotels.
Okay, all right.
Okay, that's where I retired from. Okay, and we retired me out of here. Okay, from having vascular in my legs. Okay. So I come out. Being in prison wasn't a bad thing for me. I learned a lot and I taught a lot. You understand me? The thing that I always learned that if you keep to yourself, mind your business, and stop telling your business.
Yes.
You'll live long. I have seen a lot of dangerous things in there. I have seen men become girls. You understand?
I understand.
Okay. So I put it off as it was a blessing for me, you know, because the road that I was living, and but you know, I come out of a basic Christian family.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And out of all of my brothers and sisters, I was the one that fell, you know. So I always used to say I was the black sheep of the family, okay? I was the loner, you know. I was a loner. I'm still a loner today, even though I'm married.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm a personal person, but if it's something that I can help a person with, I will help them. You know, I will help them. I'll tell my story. I don't have anything to hide about my life, you know, because my life wasn't, it was a blessing for me, you know, and now I'm doing I'm back on radio. I've been on radio for at least since I was 19 years old. Okay, so this is basically a thing for me being back home. He brought me back home for a reason, okay? And I'm here. I'm here, and I'm back at WFLT. I worked here before. I was dismissed, but God brought me back for a reason. So now it's a thing that I call from Tuesday through Friday. I call it evening blessings. Okay,
oh, wow. Beautiful.
you know, and this is a blessing for me, and I'll tell anybody. Sometimes it brings tears to me, but you know, that joyful tears that know where I come from, and to know where I'm going and where He's taking me to. You know, he gave me a new life. He gave me a wife. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so grateful. You know, I am very, very grateful. So I'll tell any guy that's in there in prison, don't take the negative part of where you've been to hinder you down. Take it and make it a prosper for you. You know, it's a step for you. It's like a lot of guys say. It says I can't get a job. Yes, you can. You can get a job. They're hiring everywhere. I don't care what it is they're hiring. If you want it, you can go get it. You know, if you want it, you can get it. That's the thing about the prison system. If you want something in there, they'll teach you a skill.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
They'll teach you a skill. I never knew anything about janitorial. I never knew anything about maintenance. That's a difference. Janitorial and maintenance is a difference. And see, I never knew anything about that until they put me on that big old machine that the floor.
Oh,
the floor.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, like at Walmart, I be seeing them clean the floors at night.
That's a career.
That is.
That's a lot of money. They make good money on there.
Yes, they do.
And you know, waxing the floors, things like that. That's a person that can. He's a person that they need. They need that person.
That is true.
Okay. So I don't see why a lot of these cats, you know, excuse me.
Cats, that took us back a long ways.
I love it.
Yeah. A lot of these individuals, women's and men's,
Yes.
right? You know, they come out and some of them come out with a negative behalf. You know, they want to go back and do the same thing that they did that took them in. They never learned anything, right? You know, but you find some that's just humble.
Yes.
That's humble and come out and want to change their lives, especially if they got children, you know? You know, and that's what I call a real person that sit back and dedicated themselves, you know, and don't fall back on their downfalls, you know. Oh, I could talk about this all night, right?
Can.
It's 6:29.
We need to put you on your own.
Yeah, we need a part two. We need a part two of this one. Part 2 and 3 with Al.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you thank you.
You're welcome.
So much for sharing your story, because I know that some individuals don't like to share their story because they're afraid of what people would think about them.
Oh man, you know that's bad. If a person think ill of what I just put out, then I let me know where they're at.
That is true.
You understand what I'm saying? That let me know where they're at. You know.
weed out some people very quickly. Trust me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
good point. And I just absolutely, Al, I can't thank you for sharing that because you are making a difference. You know
Very
what I mean?
much so.
Where you are, what you're doing today, what you've pulled yourself up to do.
Thank you.
And
I didn't do
and
it
then
by myself, though. This is a work of God, right?
Amen.
Here, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yep. And he's got you in the path where he needs you at this point, using your gifts, right?
Yes,
and
thank
so you're sharing that, which is wonderful to do. And I know there's listeners out there that are totally relating to what you're saying. And, the idea being that you can be what God's called you to be in the future.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
righty.
you.
Dennis,
Thank you.
can you give us a contact number just for reconnecting?
Yes. Yep. You can reach me 248-207-8125. 248-207-8125. Any questions on anything you need to know about job readiness or job prep?
Listeners, thank you again for a wonderful Wednesday night and hope to hear from you and see you
And thank you.
next Wednesday. Have a good night.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to Chia Use of Knowledge is Power broadcast with your host, Dr. Marseille Wells-Strozier. You can contact Chia Adult Skills Center at 810-553-2140 or online at www.mychea.org. Join them again next week at the same time right here on the best variety of gospel music, the new 1420 AM WFLT.